Cuphead. Not funny? Alright. A really difficult platformer game with the main focus being on boss fights. And I tried to speedrun it for the next 5 days. What have I brought myself into? Well, this is the 5-day challenge, in which I try to beat the game as fast as possible in only 5 days. For you who've never heard of Cuphead, let me explain it. There are 3 worlds plus 1 boss world. Basically, you want to eliminate all the bosses as fast as possible and then fight the devil at the end. With that being said, let's start the challenge. For day 1, I was planning on doing only 1 run. I just wanted to see how well I remember the game mechanics and tried to play it casually, but still as fast as I could. Well, it didn't turn out as expected. At first, we have to get through a jump and run stage to collect some coins for weapons from the shop. After that, we move on to our first boss, the vegetables. Every boss consists of multiple phases, and this one had 3 of them. They were all pretty easy, so I managed to beat them first try. For a second, I thought that this game was actually not too bad. Well, my opinion changed after the next one. Ribby and Croaks took me out of my delusional world. The first 2 phases are not too bad, but once you get to the last one, they turn into a slot machine. During this phase, I had multiple deaths, but after 10 minutes, I finally beat them. So we moved on to our little friend Goopy. Goopy is a really cute guy who tries to punch you. After phase 2, he turns into a tombstone, but none of these phases are actually challenging. The opposite applies to Hilda Berg. This is our first plane level, so we fly through the air and shoot Hilda Berg with our bullets. Plane levels are in general more difficult than the normal ones, so it took me another 10 minutes to defeat her in a final moon form. The last boss of World 1 is this little pity flower. Well, it would be if it wasn't going insane in the end. This is one of the easier bosses, so I got through pretty quickly. That's World 1. By the way, after I completed World 1, the world record was already done, so... In World 2, we already face our real first challenge, Baroness von Bonbon. At first, she just drops out a couple of easy mini-bosses, except for the muffin, we hate the muffin, and finally attacks herself. With only the lobber as a ranged weapon, it was kinda hard to hit her, so after 15 minutes I finally took her down. Wally Wobbles is the next plane boss. Nothing too much to say about him, he's a bird who transforms into a baby bird and then gets rescued by some other birds. I started the boss without the bomb upgrade, so I had to quit the stage and get them real quick. But overall not too bad. Jimmy the Great is almost the same. Another plane boss, which transforms into a lot of weird forms. Not that difficult, so let's move on. The second to last boss of World 2, Beppy the Clown. At first, he kinda seems challenging, but after you recognize some patterns and pay attention to the terrain, you're all good. Finally, the last one, Grim Matchstick. The special feature for this dragon is that after phase 1, he goes to the left. So you have to jump to the right while also shooting to the left. At the end, he suddenly grows 2 more heads and pulls out his flamethrower. Just pay attention to the orbs he shoots, because if you hit them, they split into 4 pieces. After knocking him out, you're done with World 2. The first fight in World 3 is against Rumor Honeybottoms. The screen is scrolling up, so you always have to jump to not die in the honey. But overall, she's not too bad. The pink circles and triangles are a bit annoying, and shooting her during phase 3 with only the lobber is kinda weird. Now, we come up to one of the 3 most difficult bosses, Dr. Carl's robot. Another plane level in which you want to shoot his head, chest and stomach to finally reveal his heart. While that, he's constantly shooting lasers, letting bombs fly at you, or trying to stick you up with his hands. After that, you want to hit his flying head and dodge the bombs. The last phase is basically just dodging obstacles and shooting Dr. Carl. That was the first boss fight that took me over 20 minutes. Luckily for me, the next one, Sally Stageplay, is not that bad. She has 4 phases and all of them are basically easy dodging and shooting at her, so no big deal. Same for Tom and Jerry on drugs. I mean Werner Wehrman. Just remember some patterns and try to dodge his attacks. The final cat phase is also pretty easy. Captain Briny Beard is the next one. For this one, you want to stay as close to him as possible, but pay attention for his gun. Sometimes he calls a shark, some dogs or a blooper. At the end, the ship is turning into the real boss and shoots laser at you. All in all, not bad. So let's move on. Cala Maria. Where do I want to start? Another plane level, and it wouldn't be that difficult if she couldn't just randomly stun you. Sometimes you just have no choice to take a hit because of her stun. It took me so long and all of my nerves, but after 25 minutes, I also defeated her. Phantom Express is the last boss of World 3. The ghost train can be quite difficult. Usually, after remembering the pattern, it becomes one of the more easier ones, but Cala Maria was so exhausting that it took me another 37 minutes to finally beat this boss. So after 3 hours we made it to the final world. It was only King Dice and the Devil. King Dice fight is really special. You want to hit the dice, and depending on the number you rolled, you get a different boss. So I tried to go for the chips, the bunny and the 8-ball, since these are the easiest fights for me. I died a couple of times during the bunny, but once I got through, the King Dice fight was not that much of a challenge. So now, we finally got to the Devil, and well, it's kinda easy. You wouldn't expect that from a game like this, but almost all the other bosses are more difficult than the Devil. First phase can be quite finicky, but once you pay attention on what he transforms in, you already know what to do. After that, you drop down this hole and follow him into hell. Just spam your shots at his eye, dodge the few obstacles and knock him out. After 3 hours, 31 minutes and 46 seconds, I finally beat Cuphead. I decided to leave it there and look at some strats before starting a new run. Day 2 was something else. Before the stream, I started to look at some strats. For Bonbon, I used my E-axis to kill her quicker. My strat for Dr. Kyle's robot was to destroy the head first, then go for stomach and chest with the bomb upgrade. After phase 1, you can use your ult and beat phase 2 immediately. But Cala Maria was the biggest change. There was actually a way to not get stunned. In phase 2, you can go up to her head and wait until her stun is over. And phase 3 just got insanely easy. By staying closely in front of her, you can dodge every attack she does. Just pay attention to the spike pillars and it's an easy kill. A tiny but nice optimization was the shop skip. By pressing A and B on the same frame, you can leave the shop and buy both weapons before the screen fades out. So now I'm finally ready to run. My goal for today was a sub 130. I know that would be quite a personal best, but I was also confident in getting it. So I started runs and immediately reset in the first stage. But that just made the next run better. During the whole World 1, I only died once to the flower boss. For Bonbon, I had to retry once. But with that new strat, I beat her on my second attempt. I still died a couple of times during Wally Wobbles, but the rest of World 2 was pretty much flawless. On to World 3, the B fight actually took me quite a while. I found out that there is a strat to skip her last phase, but why is that so important? Well, the last phase is probably one of the most difficult phases in Cuphead, so skipping that would be very nice. So I died multiple times in this fight, but it doesn't matter, because the next fight was Dr. Kyle's robot. And as I said, I prepared some strats. So on my second attempt, I was already done. I saved an incredible 20 minutes on this fight, but I wasn't done yet. As I got to Cala Maria, the strats worked out as well. I died once, but managed to beat her on my second attempt. So now I wasn't tilted during Phantom Express and managed to save another 30 minutes. I just had to get through King Dice and the Devil. I still died during the Devil, but overall saved time. So I got a new personal best of 1 hour and 21 minutes. I basically achieved my goal for today, but wasn't done already. I started some more runs and got another PB of 1:12:56. I was ending the stream here, and I was hyped for a sub 1 hour time on the next day. Okay, I know that I already said day 2 was really amazing, but I just couldn't expect what would happen on day 3. The day started with a couple of resets in the early game. Suddenly, I started golding every single split. It wasn't even about the deaths anymore. I just killed them way quicker than before. For the first time, I beat Ribby and Croaks on their slot machine phase in only 2 cycles, and almost skipped the entire last phase of Rumor Honeybottoms. Obviously, I also had less deaths than the day before, but I couldn't explain why I defeated them so much faster now. All of a sudden, I was at King Dice with the best possible time of 52 minutes. I couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, King Dice took me out a couple of times, so my best possible time went to 1 hour and 23 minutes. So I guess it's over. Sub 1 hour is not possible anymore.
Psych!
I golded the devil by exactly 24 seconds and beat Cuphead in 59 minutes and 59 seconds. What the hell? If I was just 1 single second slower, it wouldn't have been a sub hour. But I didn't, so I achieved the goal for today. After this run, I went on to King Dice practice and found out that instead of the chips, I was supposed to fight the cigarette with this cool fast strat. And it's better to go for the dominoes fight than the bunny. That should save another minute or so. So I ended the stream and was ready for the final challenge, beating Cuphead in under 50 minutes. Alright, if you have watched my Mario Bros video, then you know that I'm not having the best relationship with Day 4. And so it was for Cuphead. Unfortunately, I got sick and had zero focus nor any energy for the game. I still got a personal best by 3 minutes due to my bad ending from the run before and the new King Dice strats. So 56:59 was the time to beat now. I started more runs and got a perfect run until Grim Matchstick. What makes this fight so hard for me is his last phase. The orbs are shot so quickly that it's really difficult to react to them in time. And once you hit them, it's hard to dodge the 4 pieces. Because this phase is the last one, it takes quite some time to come back to it. I still wanted to finish this run and got a time of 1:13. I really wanted to get the sub 50 at the end of the challenge. So I waited a couple of days until I was fully recovered to absolutely destroy the game. So here we are, the last day. I finally recovered and was ready to break the barrier. I started with a bit of practice, everything was going great. And then I began running. I got 1 gold after another. I got through World 1 while being ahead by 1.5 minutes. World 2 was over and I looked at a -3:45 on my timer. This was the run. My best possible time was still a 46. I kept on going and saved even more time. But suddenly... No! My capture card crashed! My capture card crashed! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. I have no local recording or anything. My capture card just crashed. Yeah, GG. My capture card crashed. That completely broke me. This was the big chance for the sub 50. And maybe even better. I decided to pause the timer and fix the issue. I got through Phantom Express, then King Dice, and also the Devil. And ended the run with a 45:44. Technically, it was still the sub 50, but it felt so weird. The leaderboards wouldn't accept that run, so wouldn't I. After a little break, I got back to runs and tried to get the real sub 50. On my next attempt, I was actually even till World 3. Unfortunately, Sally Stageplay took me out a couple of times, and so did Calamaria. But the best possible time still said 47:58. The rest of the run was pretty good. Until the Devil. I died several times, but it didn't matter, because I still got the... $50-minute flat? Wow. After the game crashed, I got a 50 flat? Why, game? Why? So that's the new real PB. 50:00. Just 1 more second to glory. 2 hours later, and I got on another sub 50 run. Sadly, the Devil took me out again, and I got another 50-minute time. I was broken inside, but just couldn't stop until the sub 50. So did I get it or not? This was my last attempt after 6 hours of playing. I am free! Oh! Finally, after 5 days, I beat Cuphead in under 15 minutes. At the start of the challenge, I couldn't imagine getting such a good time, but here we are. I'm so glad that it's over. Speedrunning this game is very, very exhausting. But learning all these different strats and skips makes it so much fun. For now, we can say bye Cuphead and move on to the next one. But don't forget about the DLC, right? Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen my Mario Bros video, check that out.